But Shams Charania was, I believe, the first to report from The Athletic. The Golden State Warrior four-time NBA champion Draymond Green is declining the $27.5 million player option for the coming season and will enter unrestricted free agency. I don't know if I did what everybody did, but as soon as I saw that, I thought, Phoenix.
Oh, and Ishbia?
He's going to Phoenix.
The word was Ishbia tried to get messy as well, guys.
That's right.
Yeah, for the Suns, but it didn't work out.
So he's now, does he do this without a plan?
See, that's the first thing I thought too, Doug. I thought he's doing this because did he get a promise from Dunleavy, the new GM for the Warriors, say, "Hey, we'll give you a longer term deal with more guarantee," because he's only getting what, $27 million guaranteed would have been if he would have kept his option, but instead he opted out because maybe he wants more guaranteed, right?
Yep.
Right. Go out and sign another contract, get a 3-year contract, and you can get $67 million.
Exactly. It may not be $27 million per, but at least it's longer.
Hope not.
Overall. Yeah. And I guess the next thing Shams reported was the Warriors will try to work out bringing him back. So maybe to get the first crack at it, but that doesn't mean anything in today's NBA, right? And anyone else can come in and swoop in and offer Draymond Green a lot of money.
So, I mean, he's a Michigan native. Everybody knows that. Do you want to bring in his defense?
His attitude.
He's an instigator. He brings some toughness.
I mean, there's a big part of me that wants to, and it's not the Michigan State connection. It's because of those attributes. And I asked myself, is this Pistons team that they're building right now, is this the right time to add a Draymond Green to this team, or do they need to play together for another year before you bring him in? Because I think in some ways he could be perfect for a team that's trying to get started, because this is a guy who can lead by example and who plays defense. It's not a foreign word to him. He's more than willing to be a defender. He's not going to fill up the stat sheet. That's not what he's there for. He's there for all the intangible stuff that good teams need to have. You need to have a guy like that. But does he take things too far to the point where it's just not going to work? Because he certainly has a reputation around the league. He's a technical foul waiting to happen.
He's going to get suspended. Does he take things – when you do that, when you get so many texts you're going to get suspended, you're taking it too far. That doesn't mean he's not worth it. It doesn't mean that there wouldn't be an upside to having Draymond Green here.
So that's where you got to weigh it all together.
I mean, I've been begging for them to get a veteran, a veteran that it'd be great to have a veteran that knows how to win. And I would think that he'd be more likely to end up in Los Angeles, Phoenix, Miami. Does a team like San Antonio want to bring him in, and when they're bringing in V-Web? They could.
Sounds like Phoenix.
It's going to be Phoenix. It's so going to be Phoenix.
I don't know where they going to find the space. Well, you got a billionaire who owns a team. He doesn't care about it.
Taxed like crazy.
You just made that move, and now you can add Draymond Green to the mix too. Maybe he's played with Durant. They know what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
God, if they had Draymond Green, that crazy luxury tax that he's paying would be. It's like there isn't a cap then, right?
Right.
At that point, but
somebody they got to make a decision, and they don't care.
He would be good for the Suns, though, as the type of player he is. But do I want him on the Pistons? I personally don't. I respect the type of player he is. He's a winning player, but I think Golden State's the perfect team for him, and then the kind of antics and skill set that he brings, because he's got great shooters over there. He sets a bunch of. I think the whole team sets a bunch of illegal screens, but whatever. That's what they do. And they work the ball, they work the system, and they get Curry open shots, and they get Klay Thompson open shots. And when Durant was there, he's getting open shots, and now it's Jordan Poole. But it just depends on what Draymond Green wants to do in his career. Clearly, he's already won NBA championships. Now, does he just want his last big contract and the respect of, hey, I deserve $25 million plus a year, or is he wants to continue trying to win? So that's re-sign with, or does his legacy, hey, I want to be a Warrior for life, right?
Yeah, you didn't mention, though, does he want to come home?
I think that's where that you'd have to overpay for him.
Right.
If you want Draymond Green, and he would provide something here, of course, with the leadership and the defense.
Well,
I think you'd have to pay more than anybody else for him to come back.
maybe not. And the reason I say maybe not is because he's already a 4-time champion. He's got nothing left to accomplish in his career. He's been to the mountaintop 4 times. So the question is for Draymond Green, what's important to Draymond Green? Maybe he does want to come back. I don't know if it's worth it or not to bring him back. I'm not all in favor of doing it because he's older. If he's 27, 28 years old, it's a different conversation. But what if the Pistons went kind of all in here? And I'm not going to talk the Zion thing, but what if they went out and you signed Cam Johnson to an offer sheet? It doesn't get matched. Pistons get him.
I like that.
You add Draymond to the mix as well, or you add Dylan Brooks to the mix, right? Is that effective? Are they like the same player in a way?
I mean, there's some similarities, yeah. And there is news on Cam Johnson. Mark Stein over the weekend reported, quote, league sources say Cam Johnson is prominent and rising on Detroit's list of free agent targets. Brooklyn's restricted free agent swingman naturally has a huge fan in Motown after the Pistons hiring of Monty Williams as coach, Johnson's former coach in Phoenix. The Nets, though, are quietly expressing confidence they have all but convinced Johnson to re-sign or that they will match any external offer they need to match to keep him. That was from 3 days ago.
So I mean, that'd be an interesting thing to do if you could add him to the mix because that's a tall 3-and-D kind of guy.
Yep.
Yeah, you're talking like building a team. And which the NBA's people don't talk about that much, right? They just talk about building
superstar.
No, the super team. That's all it is.
Which is what's going on in Phoenix.
But when the Pistons have won their championships,
never done it that way.
They built the team.
I mean, Isaiah Thomas was a superstar.
Yeah, but they drafted him.
It's been more. But that wasn't considered a super team, and certainly the going to work Pistons weren't. In Detroit, there's a formula that's kind of worked twice for us, which is gritty, defensive-minded, team-first basketball, which is completely counterintuitive to how you win today. Although Denver obviously has the best player in the league, but that's not a super team by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
And one of the more recent, more hyped super teams, Brooklyn, failed they went down in flames.
Yeah, I think that the Nuggets show you don't necessarily need a super team, but they had a superstar.
Yeah.
And you got to at least have one. If that's Cade, or if that's trading for Zion, or if that's Ivy, that's fine. Then you could build the rest of the team with Cam Johnson, Draymond Green, right? And I'd like the idea that I personally am against bringing Draymond Green here, but if you can't get the superstar, you got to find another way to do it, right?
Cam Johnson, Dylan Brooks.
I really like Cam Johnson. I have from the beginning. And he would be the number one free agent target that I actually think they have a crack at.
And then they would doing those two things, all it costs you is money. It doesn't cost you assets, right? Although if you sign a guy to an offer sheet, do you have to give up anything for that?
No, you just have to pay him, right?
So if that's the case, then you still have the number 5 pick. You still have Bojan Bogdanović. You still have Isaiah Stewart. You got other moves you can make too.